In today's video, I will talk about the biggest mistake I have ever made in Football Manager, and to be honest with you, it's actually quite embarrassing. It happened going into Season 4 of my live save with Weston Super Mare. We were fresh off the back of a promotion from the National League South, going into the National League for the very first time. Vanarama National League South, ladies and gentlemen. However, my board of directors refused to turn us professional, so I knew it was going to be a little bit of an uphill task as a semi-pro team, not necessarily with one of the biggest budgets in the league either. We were given a tiny transfer budget of £10,000 and a £15,000 a week wage budget, so I needed to make every single penny count. We managed to sell a couple of players to create additional funds, as Sebastian Williams joined Oldham for 2k and Pharrell Williams joined Bradford City for 10k to just add a little bit more into that kitty. And then I had my moment of madness for the third time this save. I decided to release everyone in my squad yet again because I didn't think that they would be able to make the step up, leaving me with just my youth intake players. And this was the problem. Because I released everyone, no one wanted to join my team because the squad was either too weak or they wanted a full-time contract. We were trying to sign player after player who were all rejecting us for the same reason, or they wanted a third of my wage budget to sign with the club. Leaving me no choice, I had to sign lower quality players with the National League season looming. I went out and signed 18 players on free transfers and achieved 4 loan signings, but as you can see, the ability level was a bit below what I was expecting this season. And to make the situation even worse, we were overspending on that tiny wage budget. Heading into the season, I knew this was going to be a massive task, but I didn't really figure out the extent of that until I looked at the pre-season odds. We were 600 to 1 to win the title. The next worst team in the league was 50 to 1. And that prediction had us to finish stone dead last in the National League. As expected, our start to the season was horrendous, suffering loss after loss. And when I ended the stream, we were sitting in 23rd with just 7 points from 14 games and were already out of the FA Cup. At that point, I just needed to shut the stream off, go away and come back a completely different day. But then the next day, something drastically different happened. We drew the first game of the stream with Gateshead, but then went and put together an unbeaten run that spanned 12 matches, which really propelled us up the table. Now, I have to ask you this question if you are watching this video. Have you ever had that happen to you in FM? You're playing along and things are going fantastically well, for instance, and then you shut the laptop for the night, you move on, you come back the next day, and then you cannot win, or vice versa. You are getting beaten left, right, and center, and then the next day you load things up and things just drastically seem to work for you, because I didn't make many changes to this team. The tactics stayed the same. It was just a different day. Let me know down in the comments if that's happened to you. After the season had started, I continued to bring in players on free transfers who I thought would make a difference to this team. First up was former Bristol City forward 𝗕𝗙𝗎𝗓, who despite being 36 years old, still contributed 3 goals and 5 assists in 24 appearances this season. We also signed former Wolves new gen midfielder 𝗕𝗙𝗎𝗓𝗔, who has drastically improved the top end of this team. And finally, we picked up former Manchester City trainee 𝗕𝗨𝗬𝗘, who really shouldn't be playing at this level. These signings allowed us to pick up some more valuable points to ultimately avoid relegation and finish in 16th in the league table. But to be honest with you, I was just happy to get the season done and dusted so that we could start again and build for next year. And to round things off, my cash-strapped board decided that looking to build a brand new stadium was the right move rather than investing in the playing side of the club. Now obviously they haven't actually said that they're going to build a stadium at this point, but because the stadium that we currently play in isn't of a level to play in the National League, because I think you need 4,000 capacity, ours is not that, they want to look to build a new stadium. But it's so difficult because we just don't have any money, so please board, please. Just don't do that anymore. Just give me the money and then I get us up the table. It'll be much better. However, things weren't all doom and gloom this season, as I did manage to start my Continental Pro license, meaning that I would have the highest qualification I can get in the game after starting with nothing. So after 4 seasons at the club, this is how my manager looks, and following this horrendous season, I still have a 55% win ratio at Weston Super Mare. Going into Season 5, we've been given a wage budget of £16,250 a week and a transfer budget of 28k. And I will be definitely learning from the mistakes of this season, and I will never, ever make them again. To watch this series live, make sure you are following me live over on twitch.tv/𝘕𝗎𝗏𝑔𝐺𝑎𝑚𝑖𝑛 UK. We will be back in action just after the new year. Hopefully you guys are enjoying these sort of series catch-ups. And to be honest, I'm a couple of seasons ahead over there, so stay tuned. There's definitely some success coming.